Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, an 18-wheeler and train crash in Refugio County.
The Texas House passes 2 bills aimed at school safety against gun violence.
And the FBI releases a report showing Texas had the most active shooter incidents in 2022.
Good evening, everyone. At this hour, big storms are firing in the Waco area. Big line of severe weather is going to be rolling down, headed to your neighborhood by tomorrow. We'll be talking about the severe weather possibility coming up in a moment.
And we hear from 3 athletes who are signing to Wiley College. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia. An accident involving an 18-wheeler and train stopped traffic on U.S. Highway 77 north of Hillcrop Gate in Refugio County. The southbound lane of U.S. Highway 77 is closed until further notice, and no injuries have been reported so far. Multiple Refugio agencies along with DPS troopers are currently working on the crash scene and advise travelers to slow down as they clear up the area.
Victoria County Animal Services report a skunk recently found in the Mission Valley area tested positive for rabies at the state lab in Austin. Animal Services asking any person that notices any wildlife in the Mission Valley area acting strangely needs to call Victoria County Animal Services. They also recommend all residents there make sure that their pets are up to date on their rabies vaccines.
And now let's take a look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Bettis. That's a mouthful every single time.
Yes, and they're having some problems in Waco right now.
You can just call me Mac and I'll be here to answer it. Yes. And I've got the latest for you on Waco. Folks, as we promised you earlier, storms are firing up in North Texas and they're going to be moving down toward our area. But even as we speak, we have some severe weather going through the Waco area. These storms have already produced softball-sized hail. I'm talking 3 inches maybe. And within the last few minutes, we're getting reports of a possible tornado right in and around Waco. This is happening right now. Now, the line's coming overnight into our neighborhood, and we'll be talking about how much to expect by tomorrow. All that in a moment. Back to you.
Mac, thank you. And we want to remind you that early voting for the May 6th election is at the Dr. Patty Dotson Public Health Center, 2805 North Navarro, Classroom A, running through May 2nd, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Over 100 people showed up today in Cuero to hear from the State Agriculture Commissioner. Sid Miller spoke at the area's Chamber of Commerce Agriculture Quarterly Business Luncheon. Agriculture is very important to DeWitt County. It's the largest employer in the county. The area provides a lot of cattle production, and Commissioner Miller is bullish on the future.
You know, the future looks good. We've got a lot of technology out there that's going to help us be more efficient, better strains of seeds and varieties. Genetics and livestock is constantly improving. So I think the farmers are eternal optimists. So we think tomorrow is going to be a better day and next year is going to be a better crop.
Commissioner Miller next heads to New Jersey for a meeting on food security. More than 2,000 migrants crossed the Rio Grande near Brownsville between Monday and Tuesday evening. The constant flow caused the U.S. Border Patrol to call the Brownsville Police Department for help. Officers are helping Border Patrol maintain control of the area. They're also helping to direct migrants into designated lines. Officers were called to the Brownsville-Matamoros International Bridge when 700 migrants rushed it.
And also on the border, the Texas Department of Public Safety has released dash cam video from last week as a suspected human smuggler led officers on a high-speed chase that ended in a rollover crash. The driver blew through at least one stop sign at high-rate speeds. He then lost control on a sharp curve and flipped his truck. The driver and 5 undocumented migrants were arrested, while about 7 others fled the scene on foot. The driver is facing charges of evading and human smuggling. 2 of the most hotly debated bills aimed to make students safer got final approval from the Texas House of Representatives. The Texas House pushed through House Bill 3 that requires every Texas school to hire an armed security officer. Also getting final approval is House Bill 13, which would require Texas schools to have an active shooter preparedness plan and regular walkthroughs of school buildings by law enforcement. And this brings us to your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, are the requirements in these school safety bills enough to protect students and staff? Yes or no? We take a look at these results results, and 11% say yes and 89% say no. Thank you for voting. We want to keep on hearing from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote, and we will have an update on 25 News Now at 10.
Victoria County Sheriff's Office personnel took an active shooter training this week. The training taking place at the new VCSO Guadalupe Training Center. Deputy sheriffs are attending alert training for active shooter response. VCSO providing this training to area law enforcement agencies throughout the region. All training instructors are Victoria County Sheriff's Office deputy sheriffs who have attended the alert training course.
The annual report from the FBI says active shooter incidents decreased in 2022, but the overall number of people shot went up. Texas was the state with the most active shooter incidents in the year of 2022. The report says last year's casualty count was the largest in 5 years, with 313 casualties reported, 100 of which were deaths. The FBI defines active shooter incidents as one or more individuals actively engaged in killing or attempting to kill people in a populated area. This does not include acts of self-defense, gang violence, drug violence, and domestic disputes.
A Round Rock High School cheerleader shot in Elgin last week is out of the hospital. The cheerleading coach of Peyton, Washington says she has been released from the hospital and is now recovering at home. Last week, Washington was shot when she got into the wrong car in an Elgin parking lot. 25-year-old Pedro Tello Rodriguez Jr. charged with deadly conduct, a third-degree felony. He is in the Bastrop County Jail on a $500,000 bond. 4 escaped inmates in Mississippi linked to at least one death and a string of stolen vehicles. Wednesday morning, a reported sighting of one of the escapees resulted in a gunfight with police and a house fire.
Authorities confirm at least one person dead at the scene, but aren't saying if it's one of the fugitives or who might have been in the house.
There is no confirmation of Dylan Arrington being deceased at this particular time. But I will tell you that we do have a strong belief that he was here.
Dylan Arrington, 22 years old and one of 4 escapees from the Raymond Detention Center in Hinds County, Mississippi this past weekend. Wednesday morning, law enforcement surrounded a house in Leake County, Mississippi, where Arrington was believed to be inside.
And that's when the individual inside the residence started open fire from my deputy on the front side of the house and where he was struck in the lower leg.
The wounded deputy was taken to a local hospital as the gunfire exchange continued and then escalated into a house fire.
There was an exchange of gunfire. We believe to be someone inside of the residence, that there was a fire at the residence. And at this particular time, it's an ongoing investigation.
Police are not yet confirming if Arrington, considered the most dangerous of the 4, is dead. Arrington is also linked to the death of a man in Jackson, Mississippi on Monday. Police there believe the man pulled over to help Arrington, who they say had wrecked a stolen motorcycle. The other fugitives are Corey Harrison and Casey Grayson, both in their 20s, and Jerry Rains, 51. Records show Rains broke out of the same detention center in 2021 before being recaptured.
I feel very optimistic that they will be brought back into custody in a very timely manner as well.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Authorities reported a vehicle used in the Mississippi Detention Center escape was found abandoned west of Houston but without the escapees. Many people say the future is now, and it's that idea that UHV presented today at the Fueling of the Future Summit. Leaders with UHV developed the summit to show the latest in technological advances used in the workplace now. Donald Jerkowski says this summit is designed to show to everyone the new technology being used and also to see what is soon to come.
We hear so much about this STEM technology, but we want people to realize that it's here now. A lot of people say, well, that will be something that's futuristic. And it's not really futuristic, it's really happening now.
This is the second year that UHV hosted the Fueling the Future Summit, with next year's summer already in the works.
Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave this week. Angel Gabriel Grimaldo was found guilty of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and was sentenced to 20 years in prison. And Port O'Connor's Crawfish Fest and Cook-Off kicks off this Saturday at Kingfisher Beach. Plus, 18 volunteers took part in the Clean It and Green It Earth Day event in City Park. You can read these stories and more at the PortLavacaWave.com. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, a woman and her boyfriend in Indiana are charged with murder of a 1-year-old child.
Also ahead, in a crime described as demonic by sheriffs in Florida, a man is killed during an Uber Eats delivery.
Are you a new AT&T customer looking to upgrade your phone? You're trapped, locked into your contract for 3 years. And your phone is locked into their network too. No 2-year upgrade for you, Jonathan. But T-Mobile has a way out. Introducing the Easy Unlock. Bring your AT&T locked phone and T-Mobile will pay it off and give you one of the latest 5G smartphones free. Plus, next time you're ready for an upgrade a year earlier. You're free now, little one. So are you. Just so we're clear, I did trip on purpose for comedy.
Free your phone now at T-Mobile.
When it comes to people you trust, you likely think of family, friends, and maybe even your neighbors.
When it comes to legal matters, people here in Victoria trust our firm at Cole, Easley & Skiba.
Since 1954, we've been earning the trust of your family, friends, and neighbors.
And that's not only because we win cases, but because of our uncompromising client-first approach.
So regardless of what scenario you find yourself in, you deserve a team of trustworthy lawyers. You deserve Cole, Easley & Skiba.
There's a powerful beast roaming these woods. And if you listen, you can hear it. Every now and then, you get a glimpse of it.
Grandpa telling us stories again.
The 2023 Toyota Tundra. Toyota, let's go places.
The Victoria Television Group is proud to honor our veterans, and we need your entries. Each month, we'll acknowledge a new veteran to salute. To submit, go to the Military Hero page on CrossroadsToday.com and help us recognize the deserving servicemen and women in our community.
The biggest Jeopardy event ever is in prime time.
Monday, May 8th. 6 all-time greats.
What is grit?
Who's Caro?
What is Mean Girls?
One incredible tournament.
Oh, I think you should get this checked out. Bring it.
Who will be crowned the first ever Jeopardy Masters champion? If we have any more games like that, I don't know if my heart is going to hold out.
Jeopardy Masters primetime event starts Monday, May 8th, 8, 7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
The body of a 1-year-old child reported missing by her father, who lives in Oklahoma, has been found in Morgan County, Indiana. Authorities say Madison Marshall has been charged in the death of her 1-year-old daughter, Oakley Snow. Marshall led police to an abandoned home where she claimed her boyfriend, Rowan Waters, left the child in the drawer of a dresser in an abandoned building. Both Marshall and Waters face charges including murder, neglect of a dependent, and assisting a criminal. A Florida sheriff says a paroled gang member killed an Uber Eats driver in a crime he describes as demonic.
59-year-old Randall Cook was making his final delivery of the night when he disappeared. Police tracked his GPS data to the suspect's home and found the victim's body in trash bags.
A dedicated husband, a fun-loving dad. That's how Melanie DeZoba will remember her stepdad, Randall Cook.
He was perfect in every way. Perfect dad, always there, just no matter what.
According to family members, including DeZoba, Cook was the Uber Eats driver killed while delivering food at a home in Holiday. A killing believed to be random that Pasco County Sheriff described as horrific and demonic.
There's no way someone in their right mind did something like this. I mean, doesn't make sense. The minor details aren't adding up.
It's a sudden loss that's hard for DeZoba to comprehend.
I still have a voicemail on my phone from last Monday of just his voice and him telling me how much he loves me and how much he's there for me.
But for all the tears, there are smiles and laughs too, as she remembers Cook, who came into her life when he met her mom in 2012.
I am honored to be your husband.
And married her in 2020.
Just conjoined at the hip, soulmates to the very end.
DeZoba said her stepdad was a talented graphic designer by trade, but lately he'd been driving Uber Eats to bring in extra money.
He just had to do anything he could to make ends meet, you know?
Despite the struggles, she says her stepdad was a happy man who never had a bad thing to say about anybody.
He was the most perfect man, and I can hope that there's a guy out there even close to him for me, you know?
DeZoba says a GoFundMe page has been set up that will help the family. We will link you to it at abcactionnews.com. I'm Chad Mills reporting.
Here are some of the top headlines for the Cuero Record this week. The first ever Cuero Citizen Police Academy graduates 9 of its students, and local business Friends, located on Main and Cuero, gets awarded Business of the Month. Plus, the mural of Manuel Carmona is unveiled. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com.
Several Midwestern states getting ready for flooding as the Mississippi River swells over its banks in some areas due to melting snow. The river is at 19 feet in Lake City, Minnesota, the highest point since 2001. Current flood warnings extend from Minnesota more than 400 miles south to St. Louis.
That's all going to be happening all through these spring and summer months. All that snow, even from Canada, is going to be going down the Mississippi slowly but surely. Here in South Texas, we're okay right now, but in North Texas, big thunderstorms rolling around. Already had big reports of hail and possible tornadoes as well. We'll be talking about that in a moment. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You want to have purpose, to unlock your full potential. Imagine a career that fits you. With the Pathways at Victoria College, you can take steps towards a high-paying career that fits you and your interests. Or save money by completing courses you need before transferring to a university to earn a bachelor's degree. No matter where you came from or where you are now, Victoria College will take you where you want to be. The world needs you. Are you ready? Victoria College. Enroll today.
News Center 25 at 6 and 10 is also heard on KVNN 1340 AM, Victoria's News Network.
Hit the ground running in the most adventurous Honda vehicles yet. Like the Pilot and Passport Trail Sport, or the Ridgeline, made more rugged with better off-road performance, and more capable with different driving modes available to conquer snow, mud, and sand. Adventure on in the Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
It's the final days of Lax Furniture Spring Clearance Sale. Save up to 80% and find super values throughout the store. Plus, get no interest financing. Lax Spring Clearance Sale. It all ends Monday. Better hurry.
Texas, the future belongs to everyone, so we created the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150, part of America's best-selling trucks for 46 straight years. With an available 12-inch touchscreen and interior work surface, it puts the world at your fingertips. And now, there's a great in-stock selection to choose from at your best in Texas Ford dealer. Drive F-150 now with 0% financing plus $1,000 cash plus up to $1,000 accessories cash plus complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
We have had a pretty good looking day, down to 79 degrees after getting up to about 83, which was our afternoon high temperature, and that is about where we're supposed to be this time of year. But you know, springtime, everybody talks about the spring flowers and all that good stuff. I talk about spring thunderstorms because this is actually the busiest time of the year, and the next couple of days are going to get quite interesting. Now here's the crossroads. You can see right about there, just some high clouds rolling in. We are picking up one little shower just developing at this hour near New Braunfels. But moving up north, boy, it's anything but quiet. The storm has begun to move, and now the big line of storms that has been expected is now developing right now. In fact, as we zoom in, you can see pretty much all of Texas between south of Dallas down to Waco is under a severe threat. Now the red is a severe thunderstorm watch area, and the yellow boxes are tornado warnings. We just had a report of tennis ball sized hail on the Baylor campus. in Waco. So the storm is moving through Waco even as we speak, or one of them, because there's quite a few of these popping up. And this is all one severe complex of storms. I actually have a little bit of a close-up here, and you can see how these storms are very tall and they're boiling up. I'm talking 40, 50,000 feet, and you can see these blue tops. These blue tops mean that we have hail, or that's a hail core. Of course, all of it doesn't always keep together because it melts as it comes down, but it's coming down up in that area, and pretty much anybody in and around the Waco area, Killeen, Temple, all those will be looking at severe weather within the hour or two. So here's the storm center, as we talked about yesterday. It has begun to move, and so the line of storms is beginning to develop just as forecast. This line will be rolling southward or southeastward toward Houston, and we are going to be on the tail end of it. So tomorrow morning, we'll have some of this activity rolling by. Here's what we expect on Thursday at 7 a.m. It's going to be right on top of us. So let's just say the following. Between now and midnight, the storms are going to start moving down to Waco and further down into Texas and Austin. And then by sunrise, it'll be right on top of us. So if you got plans tomorrow morning, you're going to be looking at thunderstorms rolling around the area with thunder and lightning as well. So keep that in mind. Now by noon, the good news, the line pushes through and we start picking up some drier air. So Thursday afternoon and evening will be good. So will be Friday. But then another big storm front coming through. Now this one will actually be cooler in the low 70s, and it will bring a big gusty north wind to our area by the time we get to Saturday night. So let's just say that we've got two storms moving, and here is as far as we can go. Here's Friday night, storms beginning to fire in central Texas, and then obviously we're in the path of that coming southward into our area, and that's early on Saturday morning. So let's take a look at your 7-day forecast, looking for that 40% for tomorrow in the morning especially. We've got an alert day because all of you will be affected by the storms. Nice for Friday, Saturday morning, another line of storms coming through with a big north wind behind it, and actually a cool day by the time we get to Sunday. That's your 7-day forecast. We've got a QR code we'd love for you to scan and put on your phone. You can take Crossroads Today wherever you want to go. That's it from the weather front. We'll toss it over to Karina.
Thank Mac, and now here's sports director. Zach has been here for a while. Gino, let's go to Gino with sports.
Thanks, Gino. Appreciate it. 3 East Titans are taking their talents to East Texas. We hear from them after the break.
This is the one and only Jalitos Ranch Hunger Buster at DQ. Topped with pepper jack cheese, crispy Jalitos, and jalapeno ranch. It's the perfect combination of spicy, creamy goodness. It's a symphony of flavor. It's the ultimate expression of the jalapeno. It's
gonna get cold, Dad.
Oh, sorry. The Jalitos Ranch Hunger Buster. It's indescribably good.
DQ, that's what I like about Texas.
Get a jump start into your new car or truck at Bravo Autos, where buying a car is fun and fast. Woo! Our team is geared up and ready to take you to the finish line. Woo! We have the best brands and models at unbeatable prices. That includes no down payment and no payments for 90 days. Who are we? Bravo!
At a Crossroads, 3 Victoria East Titans soccer stars are heading to East Texas to Wiley College to continue their academic and athletic careers. 2 girl athletes and 1 boy athlete signed their letters of intent in front of friends and family. Striker Juan Rojas had a great final season with the Titans with 8 goals on the year along with 4 assists. Rojas is a son of an immigrant and only had 1 offer from the Wildcats when the Titans season ended. Rojas said with a tear in his eye that he is taking a leap of faith on going somewhere that is 5.5 hours away from his friends and family.
Soccer, I love soccer so much. Well, it's been there since I was born. I grew up around it, and ever since then I just fell in love with it. Whether I have like a bad day or a stressful day, I know if I just go to the field and play soccer, whether it be 10, 15 minutes, I know that I'll go away.
Rojas is planning on majoring in business at first. because of the money, but then he grew fondly of the profession. Rojas plans on making an impact as a freshman and prove his supporters right and his haters wrong. Also signing was midfielder Evelyn Garcia. The two-year captain had 3 goals and 5 assists on the year and was first-team All-District the past 2 seasons. She decided to sign to Wiley College because she fell in love with the coaches, campus, and environment. She had other offers but decided a month ago that Wiley was for her. Here are her goals for the upcoming year.
I think just to be determined, and even if maybe I don't get a lot of playing time freshman year, I don't want it to, I want to keep pushing and not give up. I don't want to let that bring me down. It's been great. I think that they kind of made me to who I am today, so I'm really grateful for them.
Garcia plans on majoring in physical education to become a physical therapist. Her teammate Yaritza Avila has been with Garcia every step of the way, and both decided to attend Wiley College after the visit not so long ago. Yadi, as her teammates call her, is glad to have some fellow teammates join her on the field as well in the classroom.
One sentence that I actually kind of kept to myself whenever he first introduced himself to me was that he saw the potential in me, that I never really gave up in the game. Win or lose, you still have to try and make sure that you don't give up regardless of the score, just as long as you let your heart on that field.
She plans on majoring in business administration, and she was a 3-year letterman and was a first-team All-District honorable mention this year and a first-team All-District in 2022. The head coach for the soccer team drove 5 hours to see the athletes sign. If that doesn't show dedication to the athletes, I don't know what does. Well, that's your sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Gina. We're back in a moment. A New Orleans high school senior has a problem. The problem is he has to choose between 170 colleges who have offered scholarships to him.
Every day we help kids navigate the realities of the world and make healthy, lifelong choices. Kids learn about alcohol, tobacco, and drugs in lots of ways, often from friends and siblings. While kids may hear lots of harmful information, parents do play a huge role in helping them make the right decision. Talking to your child, sitting down to a family meal at night just to discuss how their day went, or encouraging extracurricular activities can make all the difference.
My name is Adarius McCormick, and I want you to know about my new segment, Homemade with Adarius. I will interview amazing people and showcase intriguing places that may be new to you in the Crossroads. Want to show off something homemade? Email us at homemade@victoriatelevision.com. See my new segment on Crossroads Today YouTube channel and Crossroads Today Plus. You do not want to miss this.
Looking for a way to support your community? Find unique treasures at Blue & Company. Why not catch a movie at the Grand Theater or spruce up your garden at Handy Stop Nursery? Shop local and support your community. Visit Yoakum and explore all it has to offer.
When you don't keep your eyes on what you're doing, it can be downright dangerous to you and others, especially when you're behind the wheel. Put your phone down. Heads up, Texas.
Need weather around the clock? When the weather changes in the Crossroads, you need a reliable source. Visit Interactive Radar online for the latest conditions in the Crossroads area. CrossroadsToday.com. Weather at your fingertips. 25 News Now would like to invite you to experience our new digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Go to the link on your screen for more information on how to download.
When it comes from McAdams, it shows you care. The freshest flowers, the prettiest plants, balloons and gift baskets too. Beautifully unique is what you seek. Making lasting impressions is what we do. Always the very best value for you. When it comes from McAdams, it shows you care.
Finally tonight, a New Orleans high school senior has set an all-time record with 170 college acceptance letters and more than $9 million in scholarship offers.
Wow.
Dennis Barnes, a student at International High School in the Big Easy, has a grade point average of 4.98 and is fluent in Spanish. Barnes says he plans to study computer science and then law. Barnes will make his college decision on May 2nd. You know, National Signing Day for like the high school football players, they have all these live shots on these sports channels all over the place. I'd love to see a live shot from New Orleans, from his high school, to see which college out of 170 he actually picks.
I'm hazarding to think that he didn't fill out the FAFSAs all by himself 100 times. You know what I mean? He probably had someone helped him, or they just knew who. Here, come to our school.
I don't know, with a 4.9, almost 5.0 GPA, he might have done it himself, honestly.
Well, you're probably right. I thought the thing only went up to 3, but I guess 4.5, 4.9?
Yeah, somewhere
If he mailed in all that stuff, he probably has carpal tunnel, I mean, with all the writing there. But we've got some problems around Waco tonight.
Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, folks, the severe weather's already begun tonight in North Texas. It's down as far south as Waco, where, as I mentioned, we've had tennis ball size hail, that's 2-inch hail, and ping pong size hail. So there's a lot of stuff going on. That line of storms will develop and continue moving south. It should be here by morning. I don't expect the hail to be here, but you'll hear thunder and lightning around the area around here tomorrow morning, and just consider that. We have an alert day for your Thursday. Good news is by Thursday night or even afternoon, it blows away and we have a fairly good Friday. But then Saturday, we got the second line coming through, so lots of weather moving around.
All right, Mac, thank you, and thanks for joining us. We're streaming 24/7, Crossroads Today Plus.
That's right, and we'll hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.